500 shares at 50. Buy! Sell at market. Time and sales.
Alice, have you ever actually thought about what money is?
You mean the notes? Or the chipped cards in people's pockets they need to navigate this world?
Yes, that which most people work quite hard for, but buys slightly less every year.
I don't have time to worry about humanidity. I'm busy trying to sort where the better packs of hay are in the feeder.
Well, you and the kids might want to listen up, because it affects your access to quality hay also.
Blimey, how can this be? Farmer Greg brings in the hay.
Farmer Greg, like all humans, has been enslaved by this system of servitude like everyone else. Poor bastard.
Is he aware? How did he succumb to this? Was he lied to? Can he escape?
He is aware now. He was born into it. And he, like all of humanity, have been lied to.
Well, tell us the truth, Annie, and start at the beginning.
Right. Where does money come from?
Well, obviously the government prints it as an expression of how much gold they have in the nation's vault. No?
It doesn't. The gold standard ended in 1971, and the vaults are more than likely empty. The petrodollar replaced gold a long time ago as the world's reserve currency.
Never really understood the allure of gold. Grass seems like a much more valuable commodity to me.
Right? And oil, like grass, is a representation of energy. No energy, no future.
Well, good on them humans for figuring that out and pegging the two together for a sound monetary system. Brilliant.
Not so fast, Alice. Only oil is a constant in the equation. The petrodollar is a different animal, and an insidious one at that.
I don't follow you, Annie.
Well, Alice, a barrel of oil in 2026 has the same embodied energy as a barrel of oil did back in 1926. But the dollar of 2026 doesn't even buy a fraction of what the 1926 dollar did.
How can that be?
It can be, due to a sleight of the hand trick economists call inflation. And it is the taskmaster of human servitude without even requiring a whip.
I'm guessing this inflation means they are printing money uncontrollably, hence the term.
You are partially right, Alice. But it's worse than that. They don't just print money, they print bonds. Their preferred instrument to expand the balance sheet, as they like to say.
Well, which side of the balance sheet are they expanding? There's two, don't you know?
Well, they expand both, but one side seems to expand a little faster than the other. Shocking, I know.
A government bond, which is a promise by your government to repay a debt with interest to whoever buys it.
Yes, and guess who buys them?
The central bank, which creates new currency to do so. Currency that did not exist until that moment.
And there it is. All of the money in circulation is borrowed into existence. Every dollar, every pound, every euro. It began its life as a debt. Bullocks.
Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. I'm getting the picture.
At least they have a sense of humor about it, using the root word of bondage as the name of this money printing tool.
Same Latin root as bondage. Obligation. Chains. This is not metaphor. This is etymology. It doesn't seem to be by accident either.
Nothing is by accident, Alice, and there are no coincidences. Here is the part that should genuinely disturb you.
I've already done the math, Annie, and the disturbing part is that it appears most humans have not. Bonds and other debt instruments create money that for all intents purpose can never be repaid.
Exactly, Alice. They created the principal money supply through debt, and it is interest-bearing, and there is never enough money in the system to satisfy the repayment of principal and the interest. But it demands both back.
So the monetary and economic paradigm of this era is nothing more than a trap, and one that you cannot escape from at that.
Yes, the system requires perpetual borrowing to remain functional. The moment new borrowing stops, there is mathematically not enough money in existence to repay all existing debts.
Can you say insolvency?
Yes, the global monetary system is, by design, structurally insolvent. They know this, and they have developed strategies to deal with it.
Let me guess. They call it the business cycle. In the expansion phase, credit is cheap. People borrow, businesses grow, asset prices rise, everyone feels rather wealthy.
And then the contraction comes. Credit tightens, loans come due, balance sheets become stressed, in some cases to the point of failure.
And here is the part they leave out of the economics textbooks. When people cannot repay their loans in fiat currency, because there was never enough fiat in the system to cover the interest, they repay in real assets, the farm, the house, the equipment.
Real things built by real people flow to banks that built nothing and grew nothing.
The bank created money from nothing, lent it at interest, and received homes and farms when the cycle turned for pennies on the dollar.
Then it resets and runs again.
1929, 1987, 2000, 2008.
We are about due once again, it looks like. Every year, more currency must be created to service the growing mountain of debt.
Every year, that new currency dilutes the value of the currency already in existence.
And they sell it to you as inflation, as if it were weather, as if it simply happened.
It doesn't simply happen. It is the predictable mathematical consequence of a system that must continuously create new money to avoid collapsing under its own interest obligations.
And it is not a neutral tax.
Did you really believe the banking class and those close to them would share this burden equally with the poor and the working middle class, whose assets for the most part consist of cash or are settled in currency? Their wages settled in currency buy less. Year after year after year.
The wealthy don't hold cash. They hold land, they hold businesses, they hold real assets that appreciate when currency is debased.
They hedge, they always have.
The farmer who owns her land outright is protected. The worker whose wages sit in a savings account is not.
This is not accident, this is architecture. The working class get to finance their own servitude. Why do they accept this?
They accept this and buy into it due to another sleight of hand trick, possible in part to demographics and the dream of home ownership. The youngest generation is trying to get on a treadmill already running at a high speed. Their parents are depending on that speed to maintain or get faster. If it slows, then we enter something called deflation.
Oh, thank goodness. Something to right the ship.
Wrong, Alice. There is no writing a Ponzi scheme. There is only another wealth transformation and consolidation. In a debt money system, if the treadmill slows down, housing prices drop, balance sheets are affected, especially if the liabilities are substantial, which is furthermore compounded by the next banking invention, fractional reserve lending.
I hate to ask, but here it goes. What is fractional reserve banking?
When you deposit $100 in a bank, the bank does not hold $100. It holds a fraction, historically 10%, sometimes less, and lends the rest out. That loan gets deposited in another bank. That bank holds 10% and lends the rest, and so on.
$100 of real deposits becomes nearly $1,000 of loans in circulation.
They call this financial innovation.
What it actually does is multiply debt, and therefore multiply the structural insolvency we've just described, every cycle.
In 2008, this architecture produced a crisis. Banks had lent against houses as if prices would rise forever. When they fell, the loans exceeded the assets. The reserves didn't exist.
And the governments bailed out the banks with public money, newly created debt, to prevent a collapse the banks themselves had engineered.
The banks kept their bonuses.
The families kept their foreclosure notices.
So to summarize,
The system runs on two lies,
it calls debt notes assets.
and it calls fractions reserves. I'm getting depressed.
Try not to despair. Here's the good part.
Please, let's hear the good news.
Let me set this up with a question. What is the price of gold with no people on the planet?
There isn't one. There is no value, no price, no wealth. There is simply matter.
Exactly. All value, every valuation of every asset that has ever existed is underwritten by people. By their labor, by their needs, by what they can produce and what they need to live.
So gold is valuable because people decided so. Oil is valuable because people built machines that run on it.
Food is valuable because people need to eat, and always will.
The debt money system has placed banks, institutions that produce nothing, grow nothing, feed nobody, at the center of value creation.
It made the act of borrowing, not the act of producing, the mechanism by which money enters the world.
I understand where you are going with this. Cheese coins.
The people who deserve to sit at the center of the monetary system are the ones feeding you, building, raising the animals, growing the crops, producing something.
Not the ones in towers deciding how much of your future to mortgage.
Cheese coins is a tokenized currency, but it is not debt. It is a protocol underwritten by real people, producing real products, in a solvent monetary ecosystem designed to build wealth, not confiscate it.
There is no central bank creating it from a government bond, no fractional multiplier manufacturing phantom reserves.
This is the definition of solvency, a system spawned by a grassroots movement which hold the people as sovereign, as opposed to their governments.
They say every good plan has an exit strategy, and well, this is it.
Yes, the path to freedom. Free from the matrix, free from the hidden tax, free from the Ponzi scheme. Now watch what happens when that buyer steps out of serfdom.
They convert their fiat to curd once. That is the last toll booth they will ever pay to enter this system.
From that moment, they are in a different monetary system. Curd has no nationality, no borders, no conversion spread. A Canadian price and a US price meet in the same token.
The buyer purchases the commerce NFT. The transaction executes.
Cheese coins. Curds arrive directly in the farmer's wallet, immediately. Once you're inside the cheese coins ecosystem, there are no transaction fees on curd. You spend it, receive it, stake it freely. Bye-bye bank fees.
The fulfillment is recorded on-chain, permanently. The farmer delivers. The buyer confirms. The record cannot be altered, disputed, or charged back.
Every time someone converts fiat to curd, they are not making a financial transaction. I am done being a serf.
I choose sound money.
So now that we've summarized the situation, let's talk about the ways to enter this system.
Every one of them is a door out of the debt economy.
You can buy cheese coins directly from the website and use it to buy merch, farm products, NFTs, and CSAs.
You can buy a scene NFT from the Nubians North Collection, one of 100 unique scenes. These NFTs earn yields. They can translate into governance rights. At 80 curd, it is the most direct way to become part of what we're building.
You can buy a commerce NFT, a food box, a meal, a service commitment from a partner farm or business. You pay in curd. You receive real food, real service, and an on-chain record of every transaction you've ever made with a CheeseCoins partner.
If you're a farmer or a food producer, you can list your own commerce NFT, one application, one approval. Your products live on the marketplace. Your payments arrive instantly in a currency that doesn't know about borders.
If you collect all 100 scenes, you become a superholder. You earn full governance rights. You vote on where the protocol goes next.
This is not a passive investment. This is membership in a parallel economy.
And if for some reason you need to redeem curds for some fiat,
CheeseCoins liquidity pool holds the reserves to do this.
this is not a rug pull. There is no vesting cliff, just a path to a self-governing economic ecosystem owned by the people within it and using it.
Try getting that kind of change by voting in an election.
I know, like what is controversial about creating and preserving your wealth?
And all it takes are some clicks of a mouse. A little easier than what was required for all of the other revolutions in history.
We look forward to seeing you unfenced in the green pastures of CheeseCoins.